Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're tuning in from, everybody. It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Also home of the best MJ community. Today's Monday, September 18th. Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. We're going to get started with the live stream here momentarily. This one is going to be public, obviously. Normally I do these updates for private members. I'm going to be doing a market update. I didn't get one out today because I've been super busy with a couple of condo purchases. So I'm doing getting two birds stoned at once sort of thing. So we'll get started here. Just give it another 30 seconds or so, and we'll give it another half a minute for people to join us, and then we'll get started. All right, welcome to the live stream, everybody. It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. We're going to get started with the market update and ticker requests. We'll do the market update, and then we'll go through the private Powell Group community. Anybody who's a paid member in there, we'll go over those requests first, and then we'll jump into the chat. So thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. I'm going to get started here. Hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. And make sure to smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you also want to check out some of the affiliate links, there's tons of deals going on right now. One in particular was Wealthsimple. They're doing anywhere from $40 to $1,200 if you sign up. And I get a kickback as well on most of these links, but they're trusted and vetted products and services and links that I use every single day. So I can definitely vouch for that. You can go to the store tab as well. You can check out some of the Powell merch, or just go to powellmerch.ca. There's also a 10% off coupon code POWG420 to the end of the month. And make sure to give Powell Group a follow on X, which is formerly Twitter. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So the handle for that is @GroupPowell on X. Again, that's @GroupPowell. But we'll jump into the market update. Like I said, if anybody does have any ticker requests, make sure to let me know inside of the private Powell Group community. I'll get to those first. And then just let me know the ticker and the exchange. And then anybody who's joining the live stream here on YouTube, you can let me know the ticker and the exchange as well, and I'll get through as many as I can here this evening. But like I said, hope you had a great day. We'll take a look at the crypto market. So we did give back all of that move on the crypto market that we've seen over the last couple of days. And we were starting to see momentum pick back up, but it's kind of fizzled out here a little bit. We're currently in 15-minute downtrends on a lot of our names. And if we take a look at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame, it's a daily inside bar from yesterday. We could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross though, which would mean more upside from here. And it is a potential daily bull flag rather. So if we take a look at the measured move here, whoops. So we are forming a daily bull flag from the low to the high, and we could be targeting, based on this move, targeting a move up to about 28,290. And then if we zoom out to the weekly time frame for a bigger view, we do have an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross rather that's forming, and we are bumping our head right at that resistance. So you can see here support, dip below it, support, higher highs, came back down, tested it as support. This time we're seeing a bear cross of the EMAs and losing it and confirming it as resistance. So something similar happened here, right, where we got above it, confirmed it as support, got below it, confirmed it as resistance, and then another leg down, confirmed the weekly downtrend and the EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. So we're doing a similar thing where we had the bull cross, support, got above, higher highs, resistance, bear cross, and potential, well, we actually did confirm a weekly downtrend here with a lower high and a lower low there. So, and we're bumping our heads right at the EMAs and unable to get above it. We got some upper wicks there as well, showing selling pressure. So it's looking like we could see a little bit more consolidation on the monthly time frame. We do have support there at 24,750. I would like that to hold because we have nothing nearby until 20,000 psychological, and then 19,568 there on the high or low. So we could easily go back and back test about 20K. But we are looking at a potential EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So as long as 24,750 holds, I think we're doing just fine. And we could see a spot Bitcoin ETF into the end of the year here approved. I think we could see multiple. There's even spot Ethereum ETFs, and there's tons of of momentum, I think, into the end of the year here. Even the broader market's looking pretty good, and Congress still not being banned from owning stocks. There is bills that are circulating through Congress right now, and we're starting to see more and more chatter and just people, squeaking about how unethical it is, right? And the Federal Reserve banned themselves at the top of the last bull market, so that's just going to increase the odds, in my opinion, that the lawmakers ban themselves as well. If the Federal Reserve can't, then and Congress was the one who approved the Federal Reserve, then one would think that Congress is probably going to follow the same suit. And it's just a monkey could tell you that it's not a good idea, right, to have these lawmakers, people who are creating laws and dealing with all the money, they shouldn't be able to own these stocks, right? Because they're actually, like, the Federal Reserve was actually buying stocks, right, during the March 2020 lows, right, printing all this money and injecting liquidity into the market, right, and artificially propping it up. But in terms of movers and shakers today on the crypto sphere, we have GMX, Cell, and LBC. And on the bear list today, we had, let's see here, Hex, Storage, and CeeLo. Storage has been on a pretty big tear over the last month. Over the last couple months, we're up over 116%. I actually added this to my decentralized file storage. And there's another one, a competitor would be like Filecoin, but the tokenomics for Filecoin are just terrible. But storage is interesting to me. It's definitely a YOLO play, so I did put in a few $100s. I do own it, full disclosure, but nothing in this video is financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only, right? So take a quick peek at XRP. XRP is still holding that 50-cent mark, and we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on the daily time frame. This is definitely one of the stronger looking charts out there. And then on the monthly time frame, we're gearing up for a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. Moving over to SPY and the broader market. So I think we had some questions as well from the Powell Group private community, and then some ticker requests. But I just see Reza was saying, any thoughts on SPY heading into October? I hope it doesn't interfere with MJ momentum. It very well could. Usually October is not the greatest month, and we probably are due for a little bit more of a pullback. But again, the fact that Congress hasn't been banned from owning stocks yet, I think we could see a little bit more pain, short-term pain, before we see a pretty big end-of-year rally, in my opinion, maybe even spill over into 2024. But I think we could see one more big rally, because we're going to potentially see Congress being banned. I think realistically over the next few months to 6 months, we should see Congress being banned from owning stocks. Oops. And right now it's just a monthly inside bar. So I mentioned that we started to follow this .com fractal, right, where the RSI peaked in 1996 and then the price peaked in 2000, then we went to monthly oversold. And the same thing was happening in the everything bubble compared to the .com bubble, where the RSI peaked in 2018 and then 4 years later the price peaked. Then we were ultimately heading to monthly oversold, but I didn't think it was going to be just a straight shot there. Well, not a straight shot, but I didn't think we were going to go straight there and follow that verbatim, which is the blue bars, because of all this money from the Federal Reserve that I mentioned, of them printing trillions and trillions of dollars and buying, propping up the market artificially. So I expected us to deviate from that because of the market dynamics this time go around. And then we also had that monthly inverse head and shoulders, and the target for that was targeting about, I think it was 480s. So we could potentially see new all-time highs. And again, the Feds banned themselves here. They didn't ban themselves here. They didn't ban themselves here. They wanted to ban themselves at the top. So where do you think Congress is going to want to get banned, right? Somewhere near the top. Or if not, maybe they want all-time highs, right? Maybe they want blue sky breakout because they're greedy and crooks like that. So, but ultimately, I do expect us to follow suit with this fractal and potentially head to monthly oversold somewhere around April, May 2024. Sell in May and go away is probably how I can see that playing out. But essentially, from here, we could potentially see low 200s on SPY if we go to monthly oversold. And we do have this hidden RSI bearish divergence with lower highs, lower lows. We're trending lower while the price is trending higher. So one would think that it's just a matter of time before it starts to catch up with it. In terms of the weekly time frame, we are at risk of a weekly downtrend. So we have a high, low, lower high, and lower low. So key support is going to be 431.49. If we lose that, we confirm a weekly downtrend, and at that point, we'll be watching for further monthly consolidation. But right at the moment, it's not the most terrible looking chart. It's still a potential monthly bull flag as well on SPY. So like I said, we could see a little bit more pain, I think, into October. And then ultimately into the end of the year, November, December, I think we could kick this thing into high gear. But if we take a look at the measured move here, so from the low there to the high, We move that out to the 0.32 fib. So in order to negate this, we would need to lose the low there at 426, the 0.382 fib at 426. So if we lose 426, this negates the odds of a monthly bull flag. But as long as that level holds, we maintain that. And in order to confirm it, we need to break above the highs here at 457.82. So those are the bull and bear scenarios and the confirmation and invalidation and the validation that we need. So again, if we lose 426, that negates the odds of a monthly bull flag. And then if we break 457, we confirm it. 457.82, we confirm it. And then if we take the measured move here on the horizontal ray, it's saying 521. And lots of people, for the last, 5 years or so, predicting that SPY could go to 500 and plus, right? And that would put us into blue sky breakout. I think 500 to 510 is a realistic top to be looking for. But yeah, in terms of the daily time frame, we did start daily consolidation, losing the low of Friday, and we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here as well. And we are at risk of a daily downtrend confirming, but we did break to a daily higher high. So at this point, it would just be the daily uptrend actually being lost. So if we lost 441.19, then the daily uptrend would be lost. We zoom out to the weekly, and then again, next one's going to be 431.49 as key support. As if we lose that, we confirm a weekly downtrend, and that would definitely give bears the momentum. The DXY, so the US dollar currency index, again, we are getting extreme here. We're getting close to weekly overbought, but we could potentially target weekly overbought as a potential target for this top to be coming in. And once we do pull back, it's likely going to be a hard and fast one on the dollar, which would be very, very good for stocks going into the end of the year here. So yeah, DXY definitely getting extended. We already had the EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, bull cross rather, get out of the way. So now we're potentially seeing a bear cross with the shorter term above the longer term. I think the DXY is going to really start to pull back here. Like I said, we could see one more final push to weekly overbought, again lining up with more short-term pain for stocks, and then into October, not historically a great month, and then into November, December, we get a Santa Claus rally potentially, and then spillage over into 2024, and then that's when I think we're going to see the top, Congress getting banned from owning stocks, and then potentially May will be when things really start to ramp up in terms of selling pressure. That sell in May go away type of phenomenon, right? As we head into the summer, and then I think I think we could potentially see a bear market for 1 to 2 years on the S&P 500. That's what I'd be looking at on the DXY. And then on the monthly time frame, we did confirm a monthly downtrend with a lower high, lower low, and a monthly bear flag with a target of about 93, which again would be massively bullish for stocks and crypto heading into the end of the year. And then, like I said, into 2024, I think seeing DXY get to around 93 or maybe a flush of 80 would be where we could potentially see the top coming in on stocks. And this would be very, very good for crypto as well, which is very correlated to the equity market, both being very high risk. In terms of individual tickers today, we had NKLA, MVMD. I mentioned this in the Pal Group private community too. Check this out. I said electric vehicle, market electric vehicle. So we have all different markets, market MJ, market commodities, crypto, electric vehicle stocks. Those are our focuses. Then we also have the PAL Algo Alert service, which you can subscribe to. And then we have different individual news channels that have automatic fetching from different publishers, like 50 different publishers. So it automatically news fetches, MJ News filters it out so that it's in each specific channel. So if you're more focused on MJ News, you can focus on that. You can add that channel, or you can look at the crypto channel. It's all filtered, like I said, real estate, general news, Forex news, and then we have our community page. But look at this. I mentioned NKLA up over 16% today and counting. This was from September 14th. Was a nice swing trade, potential snagging under $1 and a massive pullback. Now finding $1 as resistance, psychological. And then I mentioned that we could be due, like I said, for that would be a decent swing trade, getting close to $1 and a flush thereof. And then here we are, NKLA up over 33% today. So look at that. Up below $1. We hit 81 cents. Yeah, we got as low as 81 cents, and we were daily oversold. So that was a massive swing trade there, playing off of a slip of $1. Here we're up like 100% since that. Wow, crazy. NKLA, MV, MD, and NAK leading the bull list today. On the bear list, we had RUM, SPC, and INSG. There's some news today that Tesla and Saudi Arabia agreed to like a plant or something like that, and then Elon Musk responded that another fake Wall Street Journal article. It's like, oh, who do we believe now? Like, I don't know who to believe anymore, right? Not that I did anyway. Not that I trusted mainstream media anyway, but just goes to show you how crazy the finance world is. But yeah, in terms of the broader market today, I just wanted to see if there's any notable Like gold and silver, VIX was up over 1.5% volatility index. But yeah, the volatility has been dropping off, so I would expect some massive volatility at some point soon. We'll take a look at the MJ market, and then we'll jump into POW ticker requests, the private community members, and then we'll get into the public ones. So again, if you do have any ticker requests, make sure to give me the ticker in the exchange. It just helps me go through, and some tickers are on different exchanges. NOVC, PCLO, and Huge leading the bull list for Canadian MJ. And on the bear list, we had CGC, Tilray, and ACB. There was some news out today that CGC was raising, and that was at $1.09, so the price closed at $1.14. But we did close over $1 for the 6th day in a row, so we can do that and regain compliance by the end of the week, which is interesting timing. They obviously announced this raise, and I just did a video on this as well. You can check it out. Columbia Care raised $25 million as well, and both in private placements. But CGC has 4 days left to regain compliance, closing above $1. So $1 is going to be massive here into the end of the week. If we don't close above $1 on one day, the next day could get pretty bloody, right? Because a lot of people panicking. So watch for that $1 close for the rest of the 4 days. And if we do that, then we regain compliance. And then that's very interesting timing, because the 25th is the vote for Canopy and the share consolidation proposal. So imagine if they regain compliance with the NASDAQ on Friday and then the vote is on Monday. What a massive, just head fake for all of the shorts and bears. And they had a price tag of $0, and everybody's throwing around the B word. And, I said that was way too early to be throwing around bankruptcy, because, they had all these brands. They're talking about selling BioSteel. There you go, case in point. They're not just going to go bankrupt, right? They're going to be like, we're going to close the doors today, right? They'll liquidate some assets, some facilities like they've been doing, and cut costs, right? Lay off some more employees, like all these things that they can do, right? Like, we're not at dire straits here. Like, this is fine. And these people that are institutional investors that are getting in must indicate that we're somewhere near a bottom. More than likely, not guaranteed, of course. There's no guarantees. The only guarantee is there are no guarantees, right? But not financial advice. But in my opinion, I think that this is a good thing, right? And then they're obviously, these institutional investors are not obviously putting in $25 million US just to piss it away, right? They're thinking that CGC is probably going to recover, and it's definitely worth the risk, in my opinion. But yeah, I was up almost 90% on my CGC position. One of the only names that I really started to see some decent gains with. Tilray, I'm still down, I think, like 50% overall. But I've been buying the dip, right? So dollar cost averaging and lowering my cost basis, and also not investing any more than I was willing to lose. So not breaking that golden rule. And that was something I mentioned in the Tilray video as well, whenever that news came out that they're increasing the shares, and that's a proposal that they're going to have in the November meeting. And it just goes to show you that you have to learn to tame your emotions and not invest any more than you're willing to lose. And I sleep well at night. I don't invest any more than I'm prepared to fully go to zero, right? I don't think my investments in MJ are going to go to zero, but as long as you come to terms with that, you don't invest any more than you're willing to lose. It's not your money that you need right away. Then it's easier on the emotions. You can sleep better at night. And you're diversified, right? If CGC starts to go, you're not like feeling FOMO and you're like, oh, my Tilray's not moving, or my Sundial's not moving, or my SNDL, or whatever, right? If you have a diversified portfolio, I have over 15 MJ stocks now, mix of retailers, producers, ETFs, right? Both in Canada and the US, and with different models and different focuses and strategies, right? So it's just, I want the whole MJ industry to do well. But in terms of the rest of the market, in the US, FLGC, AYR, and POTX leading the decline. On the bull list, we had FIT, BAM, and RWB. BAM's been seeing some nice volatility lately, up to 14 cents from 4.5 cents. Great little producer that's profitable, and definitely a bio target. It kind of reminds me of Cannara Biotech, actually, just American. So both fairly low market cap and great little operators with tons of room to grow. They're walking before they run, and they're both profitable. And both could be bio targets. Who knows? By the day, though, it's getting harder and harder. It's going to be harder and harder to get to buy those companies, because they're starting to turn things around, and Cannara is really starting to ramp things up. But not many people know who they are. Love, ticker symbol for that is love. But we'll take a look at Canadian MJ here real quick as well. So Tilray was down over 12%, and I would say most of the weakness and sell pressure today was from Canopy, because Canopy closed Friday at 135, and that news came out today about the deal at 109. So where do you think we're going, right? It was a 22% discount, so we were probably heading lower to that deal price at 109. Look what the low of the day today, 110. So perfect, right? But if we do lose support here at 104, we confirm a daily downtrend. That would not be good for CGC and then $1 comes in to contest with, right? And we need to close above that for the remaining days in the week. And if we close above $1 from now until Friday, we regain compliance with the NASDAQ. Interesting timing. But love fighting $1 psychological here. And these tier 2, tier 3 names, these lower tier names that aren't listed on US major exchanges or even the Toronto Stock Exchange, they're only on the Venture Exchange, or they're not on US major exchanges like the NYSE and the NASDAQ. That's why you're not seeing love run. That's why you're not seeing some of these other names run as much, right? Is because they're just not listed on US major exchanges. But then I expect Tilray, OGI will be another one that runs pretty hard soon. Maybe SNDL continues as well, and VFF. And then I think we're really going to start to see some of the smaller ones go. But Tilray definitely due for a decent bounce here as we get closer to support. And we're getting close to weekly support, just looking for a weekly higher low here compared to 216. And we have the EMAs coming into support as well, but we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross after a bull cross. So at this point, it is a potential head and shoulders that we're forming as well. And it's a little bit early because we're still forming the head. But you can just go over here on TradingView. And if you don't have TradingView, you can go to the About section here. And there is a link for TradingView. Again, this is a trusted link, vetted link. And I use it day in, day out. And it's really helpful. So go to the head and shoulders pattern, and then you can just draw that out, right? So like from the low there, and it was an inverse head and shoulders here that we were watching too. Now that I zoom out and turn on the indicators, but yeah, we could see something, something along the lines of this. That could happen as well. Who knows, right? It's just technical analysis. I hope it doesn't, but if that were to play out, it's not the most clear right now because we're still forming ahead. But basically, that says we could potentially give back this whole move and head back down to $1.50, and a lot of people would freak out if that happened. But we just take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, and we look at support and resistances, and key support is going to be 216. If we lose 216, things could get ugly. But right now, no major red flags. We're still in a weekly uptrend with the low, high, higher low, and higher high, just looking for a weekly higher low. So this is healthy. But as we know, we need to confirm monthly uptrends across the sector as well, and we haven't started monthly consolidation yet. So in order to start monthly consolidation means we're losing the low of the previous candle, and in this time it's the time frame is the monthly. So 216 would mark monthly consolidation, and then we would look for a higher low compared to the low there at 150. So again, whether or not we start consolidation now, get a head and shoulders, start the consolidation now, then look for a higher low, that might be a good opportunity here on that higher low to load up if you're looking for a long-term entry. But again, not financial advice. I'll never tell you to buy, sell, or hold. It's just giving you some ideas, and then look for the higher high to confirm here. But at this point, still ways away. And hopefully, we can get closer to that EMA 26 on this monthly bounce, and then give us a ton of room to form a monthly higher low. Right now, we don't have that much room. If we lose last month's low, it only gives us about, I guess you got 30%, so that's quite a bit. So we're creating enough room here for that inverse head and shoulders that higher low to form. And we do have this inverse head and shoulders. So if we do if we come back up to here around $4, just over $4, that would give us our neckline or head of the inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish reversal pattern in a downtrend. And then we would look for a higher low somewhere around maybe 250, and then give us that inverse, and then the target for that is $13. So those are the bull and bear case scenarios. So again, when people say, technical analysis doesn't work, or look, he's saying it's going to this price and then it's going to that price, it's because it's just probabilities. It's saying that, this could happen. It doesn't mean it will, but the odds are saying that we could potentially see more upside, I think. But short-term pain could be ahead. And then, like I said, into the end of the year, like SPY and the rest of the broader market and crypto, we could see some massive moves and euphoria in the markets, in my opinion. We'll jump into the POW Group private member ticker requests first, and then we'll dive into the public ones here in just a moment after we look at MSOS. Did start daily consolidation today after losing the low of Friday. But massive move, obviously, coming off daily overbought. And we do have some little bit of hidden bearish RSI divergence here with lower highs, lower lows, and higher lows and higher highs. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if MSOS were to come back to around that $8, maybe even somewhere around $6, and form that weekly higher low. And then same thing here. We need to confirm a monthly uptrend. We have a big bounce. Like, look at that record monthly volume. This is what we want to see near a bottom. And then, like I said, about 100 to 200% move off the bottom is very encouraging that we have our bottom being in. But same like most of MJ, we need monthly uptrends to confirm with a higher low and higher high. And we did break out of that falling wedge bullish as well. And look what the measured move was on that one. From the low to the high, hit perfectly. Actually, it got extended beyond that, right? So just because it's the target of that, it says that we're going to go to that. Again, we could extend it. We could not get as close to it. But, you know, in this instance, it played out bang on, right? So this is why technical analysis isn't to be taken, you know, as the holy grail. It's just to give you an edge, to give you an idea of what to expect, right? If 8 out of 10 indicators are saying we're going up and it's saying we're going to $8 or $10, well, then I'm going to put a little bit more weight behind the bullish thesis, right? Then I look at the bear thesis and I say, okay, if only 2 out of the 8 indicators or 10 indicators that I normally use that are very accurate, well, if 2 out of the 10 aren't that, you know, then I'm not going to expect much conviction of that going down, right? Or same thing on the flip side. If we think it's going to go down and there's 8 out of 10 indicators saying down in this price, then we would put more weight behind the bearish thesis, right? So I'm actually putting together a list of those indicators I use, those, you know, 10 indicators or so that I look for in an advanced course. If you go to the powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com, you can click on Academy. There's a course there, just like a beginner course, but it's good for anybody who's in the stock market for 3, 5 plus 10 years. I give my kind of game plans and strategies and how I protect myself with like crypto, and then, you know, go into a bit of technical analysis basics and market psychology and basics and fundamentals, and then I get into some technicals and things like that. But then I'm coming out with an advanced course that'll teach you how to like look for those 8 to 10 indicators that I use that have been very, very great to me over the years, and just my knowledge and wisdom that I've compiled over 15 years of studying the financial markets, right? So let's jump into some ticker requests for the Pow Group private communities. I'm just checking some news that just came through. Like I said, 50 different publishers. I don't even check any other websites for news anymore. It's just like, and then we have over, you know, we have almost 50 members, so a lot of members post news in here as well, so you don't even really have to go anywhere. Everything is like a one-stop shop for everything, and you can bounce ideas off of people right before you buy or sell. It's not financial advisors, but you can bounce ideas off of people if you're looking for to buy or sell something. You can just kind of, like I said, run that by people. But like I said, continue to post any tickers, the symbol and the ticker and the exchange in the comments in the live chat, and I'll get to those here after these ones from the Pow Group private members. I think Leisha had a request there. If you're on, Leisha, you had a request. Okay, yeah, you put it back. Okay, sounds good. And I know you're a member, but you put it in the YouTube chats, and you're at the top of the list anyway. So I'll get to you after the rest of the Pow Group members. I'm just going to dive in here now. Let's see. Can you look at CGC and Tilray? So I think I did look at that for the most part. I know you put that in before I started the stream, so I think you know that there from that. I've kind of already gone over it, and we just need 4 more days. And like, look at that Tupperware fractal that I still have on here. I did a video on CGC correlation to Tupperware. It's like actually crazy. Just go here to the compare button and you put in Tup, and then on the weekly time frame is the best way to see it. But look how correlated that is. Like they topped at the exact same time, and then look, Tupperware said a big move coming, and then CGC, big move came. It was like the best indicator ever, right? And out of those, 10 indicators that I use, Tupperware is one of them. I'm just kidding. That's just silly and hilarious at the same time. But yeah, I definitely don't use that as a common indicator, but it's interesting nonetheless. But yeah, like I said, Canopy Growth has record monthly volume. It traded more shares than Tesla and Apple. Like, look at that monthly volume. We've still got 10 days left in the month, and we traded 1.425 billion shares. So let's bring up Tesla for the month. 1.512 billion. So 1.512. 1.425 billion. Yeah, so pretty much right in line, a little bit less. But by the end of the month, we could. That's wild to think about it. Apple only at 821 million for the month. So we're more than Apple. That's wild. What's CGC? Tilray, because that's the leader in terms of like dollar volume traded and market cap. So for the month, we're at 571.99 million. And yeah, these news of raises and things like that too, and increasing shares is interesting. The timing, right after HHS comes back with the schedule recommendation of Schedule 3, we're getting all these capital raises, right? That's usually what happens. But yeah, in terms of Tilray, I've already done quite a bit of an analysis on that. So hopefully I just basically did that, answered it for you in this video. But CGC, we'll take a look at some of these other indicators. Likely due for a pullback here. Like I said, weekly consolidation likely underway very soon. If not this week, over the next couple weeks. But like I said, 4 more days over $1 could do so by the end of the day Friday, and then the meeting on Monday to vote for the share consolidation and reverse split essentially. Wouldn't that be interesting timing if we get regain compliance on Friday, 1 day before the meeting scheduled to take place, right before the weekend? Tilray backtesting the 10-week moving average, still in a weekly uptrend, so this is looking pretty good. We are seeing a bear cross though, the stochastic, but and MACD starting to curl to the bearish side as well, but we're looking pretty good here. But like I said, a little bit more short-term pain. And look at that perfect back test on CGC of the 50 weekly moving average. So that was perfect time to go short or to look to unload and go reload cheaper, right? You actually even got above it there, almost $2 USD. But after that, we have nothing until about $4. And like I said, what happens when we get extended to the upside? We come back, we test it as support, we lose it, confirm it as resistance, we get above it, we get extended to the top, we gravitate back towards these moving averages, right? Whether it be weekly, daily, exponential. Like I said, we usually trend back to it. Look how far away we got from it here. We were likely due to come back, as long as you don't think CGC is going to lose its, it's not going to close its doors anytime soon. More than likely, the odds favor that we're going to trend back there. So that was a massive swing trade, and the day traders and swing trader paradise. And then in terms of Tilray moving averages, we're just losing the 50 weekly here, so we continue to find resistance there, but nothing until the 100 there at 420, which is a great number, and then 857 at 200. CGC daily, again, what happens usually? We get extended to the downside, we get extended to the upside, and we gravitate back towards these moving averages, and then look how extended we got and far away from the 200-day moving average here, right? And that's exactly where we topped out as well, just above it. So that was, that was massive for the potential of an upside in a swing trade. But like I said, if you're looking to invest long term, still down 97%, right? A few months ago at the lows there at 34 cents, it was down 99% from all-time highs. Now it's down like 97%. So did you miss nothing? Or did you miss the move? There's no way. So like we're still down 97% from all-time high, right? So it's just funny, something runs 400, 500% in a few months and people are like, did I miss it? And you're like, well, what's your time horizon? Were you thinking swing trade? Well, yeah, you probably missed the swing trade, but are you talking investing and holding for years until the U.S. legalizes, or, multiple years? And at which case we could be at new all-time highs, and then, okay, maybe you missed the move. Right now is maybe the time where you want to go short or wait for a massive drop and another bear market, right? But as we know, the brutal bear market lasted multiple years, and it was brutal, so more than likely going to see a massive bull market ensue after, right? And there's likely going to be lots of generational wealth made. Could see a golden cross over the next few months. Likely, like I said, CGC is definitely one of the laggards. 57 cents is the 50-day, and then 153 is the 200-day, and it's a while away before we see that golden cross. Tilray, very, very close to seeing its golden cross. Look, the 50-day moving average is at 241, and the 200-day moving average is at 255. So we're 14 pennies away from seeing those cross, and we could see a lot of upside. Last time that happened, price was at around $7, went to $67. Then we had the death cross with the 50, the shorter term above the 200-day moving average, and when it's the 50-day and the 200-day, that's a death cross. Price went from about $15 all the way down to $1.50, and now this time around we're way more beaten down than we were here. So one would think we could see a ton of upside here, and likely just a matter of weeks, if not mere 1 month or 2 months away from seeing that golden cross, while CGC might be 2-3 months out. Could be quicker than that based on news and things like that, but that does it for those sets of requests. And just checking I see we have some people chatting here in the Power Group private community. I just want to make sure no one had any other requests in other sections. Funny chatter going on in the Power Group private community. We have fun in there too, right? It's not all focused and talking about numbers all day. It's pretty awesome. In the process of finalizing a couple condo purchases as well. So it's going to be my fourth condo purchase in less than 2 years. So definitely been feeling the exhaustion. Geez, can't even say that word. I'm so tired. But yeah, I did a bunch of work today. It's been a busy day, and yeah, it's going to be a busy week, and fatherhood coming up. So enjoying the time, but yeah, going to be excited for the next chapter. So if anybody has any advice as well, definitely welcome it. But going to jump into the chat. So Alicia says CRLBF. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in and from. Let's take a look. CRLBF. They seem to be moving in sync. Yeah, we can compare them. CURLF. Yeah, they are moving in sync. Check that out. So Curaleaf is in the orange. So yeah, they're like identical, literally verbatim. So yeah, if you chart one, you basically chart the both. But we'll chart them both real quick. So it is a weekly consolidation. Yeah, we lost last week's by 1 penny, so we're starting weekly consolidation. We could pull back to around $2, maybe a flush of $2 to those EMAs around $1.80 on the OTC, so USD. And on the monthly time frame, getting above EMA 12, which a lot of the names were starting to trend back to it. Now we're getting close to EMA 26. So this monthly bounce is just starting, but I would say we could have legs here to get to EMA 26, which would be at 376. Because we need that monthly bounce to get there to form enough room for a higher low. So it's looking pretty good. And lack of resistance there on the price action until 420. Again, an amazing number. But at the moment, usually bull flags are in uptrends. So we're not in a weekly uptrend yet, but the psychology still could be there. So as long as 210 holds, it's a potential for a weekly bull flag. And then we just move it out to the 0.32 fib and take the measured move. You're looking at about a move up to 390. And in order to confirm it, we need to break 277. So yeah, we could be heading to 390 there in terms of the weekly bull flag. But in order to negate it, we need to lose 210, and that decreases the odds. So again, that's the bull and bear scenario. Always look at the both sides, right, of the coin. Up, down, sideways. So we take a look at the up scenario, and we take a look at the down scenario. And if lots are saying up, lots are saying down, we might just go sideways. And then usually volatility spike, and then volume picks up, and then we get the move, right? So hopefully that helps. In terms of the daily time frame, we did confirm a daily downtrend with a lower high and lower low, so that signified weekly consolidation underway, but very, very brief. And it actually could be a monthly, like I said, a weekly bull flag. So when we change trends and we don't see much follow through, does it mean zoom out and look for a potential bull flag? Or if it's the other way and it's the bear scenario, it could be bear flag. So CRLBF. Yeah, so we got pretty extended from the 10-week moving average. We do have support there at 171. We're still very bullish on the stochastic and the MACD, so nowhere near seeing bear crosses there. And we did get above our 50 weekly. Could back test $2, like I said. And then nothing until 363. So like I said, that mid 3 and then the 200 weekly there at 595. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got to $3 or $4 on Cresco. I'm very bullish on Cresco long term. I own them as well. And then a golden cross could be just weeks away, if not mere single month, right? A month or two. Looking really, really good. Curaleaf on the OTC. Daily consolidation, but we're still in a daily uptrend, so it actually is a bit stronger at the moment. And then weekly consolidation hasn't begun because we didn't confirm a daily downtrend. So in order to start weekly consolidation, we would need to lose the low of last week at 452. And then we can take a look at the scenario of a bull flag here on the weekly time frame. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to here, but maybe we form a weekly inside bar, and then next week we start weekly consolidation. We could potentially see a weekly bull flag, but it's a little unclear at the moment. Monthly time frame, we did get above EMA 12. So again, it's hitting its EMA 26. So again, if Cresco were to do the same, then we could be due for, like I said, up to that $4 mark. And then Cureleaf had no resistance until 790. I'm extremely bullish on Cureleaf long term. Boris Jordan, the executive chairman and co-founder, said that they would already be paying a dividend if it weren't for 280E tax code in the U.S. Already paid over $350 million in taxes under that code to the U.S. government. And they'd already be probably paying a dividend. Let that sink in. But we are bumping our head rate at EMA 26, but we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross over the next few months. Like I said, adding more to that bull thesis into the end of the year, we could see massive moves and catalysts to come along with it. So that's what we're looking at. CURLF here on the weekly time frame. So very similar to Cresco, still nowhere near seeing bear cross of the stochastic and the MACD, and we're still ways away from the 10-week moving average. 382 there on Cureleaf would be support on the 10-week moving average. And then we actually got as far as the 100 weekly. So we're going to be watching for a lot of their names to start to trend back to their 100 weekly, because once one does it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, the more odds that the rest that haven't likely will, as long as they have strong fundamentals and stuff, right? But nothing until 768 on the 200 weekly, which we could target as well. So that's some major level of resistances to be watching for. But $5 psychological will be an interesting back test as well. Nice round psychological number. And we're seeing a golden cross on Cureleaf. Look at that. The 50-day moving average is now 360, and the 200-day moving average is 353. Last time that happened, price went from $5 to almost $20, so $18. Then we had the death cross with the 50 above the 200-day. Price went from $12 down to $2. Now we're seeing even more beaten down than we were this time in terms of price, and we're seeing the golden cross like we saw here in a massive move. So yeah, this is looking really good, folks. Cureleaf definitely one of the leaders in terms of golden crosses as well. MSOS nowhere near seeing its golden cross. Actually, I take that back. It's not that bad. 603 and 638. So just 35 cents or so to go in that differential there between those two moving averages. So hopefully that helps. Hello, hello. High tide. We've got Pal Flex in the house. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing awesome. Kind of rhymes. Let's bring up the TSXV. So we'll do it on the NASDAQ. So high tide, HITI stock, backtest of the, and I said this is likely coming soon, right? Because we hadn't consolidated on the daily time frame. What's consolidating mean? We're losing the low of the previous candle on the daily time frame. It had been 13 days without any daily consolidation. So as soon as we lost the low here at 189, that was the opportunity to go short. Even if you just entered there on the low breaking, that's a 15% short opportunity, or reload cheaper, right? But again, for me, my goal isn't to swing trade or day trade MJ right now. We're down 99%. You know, most names are down 80, 90 plus % from their all-time highs in February 2021 highs. So why am I going to go try and, unless you have like a shorter term account and a longer term account, the long one you're not touching and you're just holding, that's fine. I have those as well, but I don't actually have a really short term account. I just kind of have, if say Tilray gets to $10, I'll take some profit in my short-term account, but I'm not going to take any profit in the long-term account until the U.S. legalizes at the federal level. That's what I'm holding for. Don't care if it takes 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 2 months, whatever it is. It's probably going to be multiple years. I would say probably 2, 3. And yeah, that's what I'm holding for. Because the run-up to Canadian legalizing was amazing. You think that was amazing? Wait till you see what the U.S. is like. Biggest market in the world. So yeah, daily consolidation still very healthy at this point. We're still in a daily uptrend as long as 130 holds. So yeah, we could, in theory, we could have dropped another 20% and still be in a daily uptrend, right? So this is why coming off daily overbought, you need to know that the most likely scenario after not consolidating in 2 weeks, as soon as we lost that low, big move to the downside was likely coming, right? Because no support. And just we hadn't took a breather, right? We were just cooling off. This is just healthy. So if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, same thing here. We have no weekly support all the way down to 120 and then $1 psychological. So don't be surprised if we do back test these EMAs around the $1.50 mark, $1.40. And this is on the NASDAQ, so USD, of course. Monthly time frame, we got above our EMA 12, like a lot of names. And look at that monthly volume coming in, nowhere near the record, but starting to ramp up, increasing. We like to see that. And then we have the EMA 26 there. And then after that, we have a lack of resistance all the way to 589. So $5.89. So we can target EMA 26 there around 243 in the short term. And then again, like most names, we still need a monthly higher low and higher high and a confirmation of a monthly uptrend. Weekly time frame. Yeah, we're still looking good. And the bull crosses and well above that 10-week moving average at 140. So again, 140, 150 should be nice support if we see some short-term pain, which I think could happen. But then we did get over the 50 weekly moving average. We have the 100 there at 244, then the 200 weekly at 334. So again, that mid 250 range could be a nice area to target as a top before we see a pretty big pullback, maybe 20, 30%. And then in terms of the daily time frame moving averages, we're seeing a golden cross, 136 and 137. Woo! So high tide, seeing a golden cross. Last time that happened was when price was at around $1.90. Price went to $13. Then we had the death cross, 50 above the 200-day. Price was at around $6, went to $1. Now we're even more beaten down in terms of price than we were here again. So we could see massive moves coming. So it's looking really, really, really good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Hi, just joined in. Is this Tilray? TLRY? Yeah, I did cover Tilray. So if you haven't seen it, you can just go back in the video. But you messaged that a while ago, so I assume that I've already covered it since you messaged. What's up, Todd? Todd. It's Rod. Rod and Todd. Are you talking about Simpsons? I actually watched an episode of The Simpsons on the plane back from PEI the other day. I hadn't seen Simpsons in ages. Kind of crazy now, actually. Can you please take a look at PSNY for me? Thanks. Sure, no problem. PSNY. Like I said, make sure to give me the exchange too, folks, because there could be multiple. So, but looks like this is the one, PSNY. Dropping to a monthly lower low and a monthly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. So it's rejected at EMA 12. Couldn't get above it. Dropping to a monthly lower low. This is definitely so. Polestar Automotive Holding UK Limited on the NASDAQ. Sitting at 259 USD. Definitely one of the weaker charts out there. It's dropping to a monthly lower low. But with that being said, we're close to monthly oversold. From the all-time highs, down 85%. Could always get worse before it gets better, but essentially it's the the falling knife scenario. It's like, where's the bottom? 250 could be a nice area. It could be $2, could be $1. We just don't know. I don't know anything about this company fundamentally, so I can only tell you what the charts are saying, but it's not looking good. In terms of the weekly time frame, though, we have a lack of resistance till 392, and we are getting close to weekly oversold. So could be due for a pretty big bounce here. Could be a nice swing trade with a lack of resistance till 392, and then after that, really nothing till about 496, so $5. Could double your money here. Could try to do a swing trade off 250 psychological. Or you could enter now and then play off $2 psychological, scale in, maybe enter a little bit now, 250, 225, and then a third one near $2, and then set your stop at 174 or 150. However much risk you're willing to take will likely be dependent on the amount of money you're throwing at it. If you have a lot less money, you can endure a lot more risk. And it's like CGC, right? CGC, like Canopy Growth, was a massive risk, but massive reward as well. But yeah, definitely one of the weaker names. PSNY here on the weekly time frame. Yeah, we had a bear cross of the MACD on the weekly, and then on the stochastic, and dropped below the 10-week moving average. So yeah, it's definitely one of the weaker names out there, but it's likely due for a nice relief rally here soon to the upside. And then we're getting very far away from that 50 weekly there as well. So one to think we could usually cut back and trend back towards that. And that's sitting around 446. So again, that $5 area. But you just want to be absolutely sure on this name, because if you do have a stop loss set or something like that, and it opens up below your stop loss, and like I have, as far as I know, like I'd be none the wiser if this company was going bankrupt like tomorrow. Like I'm not saying it is or it will. I'm just saying it could be, and I wouldn't know that because I know nothing about this company. So I can only tell you what the technicals are saying. So make sure you do your due diligence. You probably know more about the company than I do. I would safely bet that. Probably bet $1 million that you know more than I do, because I know absolutely zero. I didn't even know what the ticker was or the name of the company was. So just take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, because this is just technical indicators. And we were gearing up for a potential golden cross as well, but it didn't play out. We had the bull cross of the 50 and the 100, but this could happen as well, and you could be looking for a golden cross. So again, a little bit more risk, but lots of reward as well. So hopefully that helps. Good evening, Rod. Good evening. Good evening. Someone called you Todd. Yeah, Rod and Todd. I don't know if they were referencing. I get Rob a lot. It does sound similar to a lot of other things. Like I even got like good friends that I've known for like a year or two that call me Rob sometimes. But then to be fair, we do have a couple friends named Rob. Rob 1, Rob 2.0. But yeah, it's ROD, like Rodney. It stands for Rodney, yeah. Technical analysis does work. I concur. Yeah, so it definitely does. Like, it doesn't work all the time. Like, we can say it's incorrect sometimes and it's correct sometimes, right? But again, if you have 8 out of 10 indicators saying up or 8 out of 10 indicators saying down, then yeah, it definitely works, right? Just having an edge and looking at the most likely scenario and probabilities and odds, right? Same here. I'm up on CGC and down on Tilray overall. Nice. Yeah. Well, that's the benefit of waiting and, you know, keeping some extra cash and powder, right? Position, cash is a position as well. Can talk about ACB, please? Sure, we can take a look at ACB. I personally don't own any Aurora MJ ACB stock, but look at that monthly volume. We're getting close to a record. It's not a record. It's getting close to a record. We still have 10 days left. So the record for shares traded is 1.59 billion. And this month we have 838 million. So we're getting close. And we're trying to get over EMA 12. So that's going to be, if we can break above EMA 12 there at $1.08 and like see a monthly candle close above it, we're likely heading to EMA 26 there at $4.31. This is isn't a name that I'm a huge fan of. It's coming off monthly oversold, so that's good. And then, like I said, nice volume there coming off the lows. I'm not a huge fan of Aurora. It could be a buyout target. They're starting to really turn things around from a balance sheet perspective, and profitability could be in the next year or two. I personally don't enjoy any of their products. I'm in Canada, and I've tried a lot of their products. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but they're starting, like I said, to kind of turn things around. And like all the cost cutting, you know, on SG&A and COGS and things like that. But this is one of those names as well where it's very, very high risk, but very, very high reward, right? So, and then set to potentially capitalize on the German market. So it's looking pretty decent. In terms of the monthly time frame, though, nowhere near confirming a monthly uptrend. So we still need to do that. In terms of the weekly time frame, like I said, the harder the fall, the bigger the bounce. So the greater the accumulation, the bigger the expansion, and up 165%. So congrats to the bulls who did buy the dip. We could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well, adding more momentum to the bullish thesis as well. But in terms of the daily time frame, we are at risk of a daily downtrend with a high, low, lower high, and lower low. So that's what constitutes a downtrend. Higher low and higher high is a uptrend. So this key support will be here at 77 cents. If we lose that, we confirm a daily downtrend. And then we look for weekly consolidation to begin. That would more likely be next week based on the size of this weekly inside bar. We'd have to lose 56 cents to start weekly consolidation, and we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So I think weekly consolidation would probably be next week. And wouldn't that be typical? Because imagine CGC closes above $1. We get massive upside into the end of the week. Closes above $1, regains NASDAQ compliance. And then on Monday, we see a sell-off that week because everybody's getting bullish, and then they sell it off. I could see next week, mid-next week even, where we start to see a weekly higher low, and that'd be just healthy, just looking for a weekly higher low. In terms of the weekly moving averages here and whatnot for ACB, like I said, a lot of our names are starting to turn up the jets, and nowhere near seeing a bear cross of these, and we're still very bullish on the stochastic and the MACD, well above the 10-week moving average. We did get over the 50 weekly there as well, and we're just confirming it as support, and the next one's with 100 weekly there at 210. So we get some runway before we get into that resistance, and we're above all of our daily moving averages, so this is looking good. We even back tested the 200-day moving average perfectly and confirmed it as support, whereas before it was resistance, couldn't even touch it, and now we're getting above it, back testing it as support, looking like we could see another move. It's probably going to be multiple months before we see a golden cross with the 50-day below the 200-day moving average. And then if we zoom out here on the chart, like I said, the last time that happened was back in the February 2021 high run-up, and price was at around $9 and ran up to about $18, and that's factoring post-split, obviously. And then we had the death cross with the 50 crossing down through the 200, 50 above the shorter term above the longer term when they cross. That's a death cross on the daily time frame. And then, like I said, price went from about $8 all the way down to 40 cents. So hopefully that helps. Moving on, I gotta start wrapping it up here. I own a lot. Yep, so do I. Makes two of us, my friend. What is the meeting on? What is the meeting and voting about next week, 25th exactly? Yeah, so it's the Canopy, September 25th, 2023. So it's annual general meeting. So they're SGM. And special meeting as well. So where is it at here? They recommend for voting for all proposals. Where'd it go? I seen it there. Proxy statement. Proposal 1, director election proposal. PKFOD appointment proposal. I think that's, is that a company? Where's proposal 2? Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I'm going on about an hour. I wanted to keep this around an hour. But yeah, there's the proposals there. And then new equity incentive plan proposal, share consolidation proposal, and say on pay proposal. PKFOD. PKF O'Connor Davies, yeah, it's a accountant. Something similar in Tilray's votes as well. And then share consolidation. So they're proposing a 15-for-1 reverse split. Again, wouldn't that be awesome if, wouldn't that be funny if they regained the compliance a day before the meeting? Yeah, share issuance proposal. There you go. Like, what if we are over $1? Will the reverse even be beneficial? I mean, they could still do it, and technically they still could do it. If they get approval, they can do anything they want, but hard to say. At this point, I was saying it was like 60-40, and then they got above $1, and now we're 4 days away, so now I would say it's still like 50-50 chance that it happens. Maybe even like 60-40, that 60 it doesn't, and 40 it does. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be a big deal. Like I said, these institutions are putting in $25 million. I just did a video on Canopy today and Columbia Care. They just raised $25 million in private placements from institutional investors. So does anybody on the stream have $25 million that they just invested into Canopy Growth? Well, an investor did. So an institutional investor did, right? So do you think they're putting $25 million in to see it to go to zero? Right? Probably not. They're probably thinking that they're going to see some ROI, some return on investment, right? Some upside. So yeah. If anybody has less than that, then that should be a vote of confidence that it's a good thing. How do you know when the higher low forms? So when we lose the low of the previous candle. So consolidation means we're losing the low of the previous candle. If this, in this instance, it's the weekly time frame. So let's say this is our low. Or we'll go to here. So oops. So here, this isn't the greatest example, actually. Let's do Tilray. Yeah, so right here. So the higher low, low, high, higher low started when we lost the low of the previous weekly candle because we started weekly consolidation. So then you look for a higher low. Higher low just means we are forming a low, but it's higher than the previous low, right? And then same thing here. We're forming a higher low that is higher. This low is higher than this low. And then this low is higher than this low, right? So you just, it's just a way to visualize it, right? That low, that low, that low, but they're all higher lows, right? It literally just means it's higher than the price at the previous time it consolidated and saw a pullback, right? So just picture this. Higher lows and higher highs is an uptrend. Lower highs, lower lows is a downtrend, right? And then this is your low, your lower high, your lower low, right? And then your low, your high, your higher low, your higher high, your higher low, your higher high, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Makes more sense after you study it for like 2 years straight. You know, simple. Just study it for 2 years straight every day. That's the hack. BMMJ, yeah, we've been seeing some nice move on BAM. Like I said, off that low. Could be a nice buyout target. Holy crap, it's hard to chart BAM off such low liquidity. Excuse me. Yeah, so 4.5, or so this was, yeah, 0.006, so it's up, whoa, almost 20x. So on the weekly time frame, 20x off that low, what the, BMMJ is crazy. But realistically, since HHS recommendation, it was at 5 cents and ran up to 130, so 137%. Harder to chart these ones because they're not, it's not as liquid. Same with BAM. Yeah, monthly bounce is underway. So 10 cents resistance is, we got as high as 12 cents. Really hard to chart this one, but next one, you know, you're looking at pretty much a lack up to about 50 cents. So this thing could easily fly and be back up to 25 cents or 50 cents in not that long a time, and just in a couple months, in my opinion. BMMJ. What's the, yeah. Just making sure it was on here. But yeah, looking good here on the weekly time frame, above the 10-week moving average. So we have the bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD. And we have the weekly, the 100 weekly there at 13 cents, and then nothing to 26 cents. So again, if we can get over 13 cents, 12, 13 cents, which is the high, could easily be going up to 25 cents in a hurry. In terms of the daily time frame, we're seeing a golden cross. This is great, folks. Again, when 1, 2, 3, 4 do it, the more that do it, the more that the ones that haven't done it yet likely will. So it's looking like we could easily be heading back to that 15, 20 cent in the short term. And then, like I said, maybe even 25 cents could be in the cards here over the next couple of months. And then wouldn't be surprised at all at 50 cents if we get enough, you know, if we get DEA approving Schedule 3 or even descheduling it. Holy crap. Imagine they come back and they say, oh, we think we should deschedule it and treat it like tobacco and cigarettes and alcohol or something. Like, what? I would send everything skyrocketing. Hello, Rod. Hello. Thanks for joining. Thank you for having us. You bet. Thanks for joining. Hi, Rod. If Tilray dilutes, the stock will drop even more, right? Well, not necessarily. What if they announce dilution and the same day DEA recommends Schedule 3 or to treat it like alcohol and tobacco, right? Then everything skyrockets and it completely nullifies it. So there's no way to know for sure because there's no guarantee. The only guarantee is there's no guarantees. But, you know, you just kind of have to take it with, you know, every day as we go, and we can look at the charts, see what the charts are saying, but you never really know because it's impossible to predict the future. So, and a lot of things are at play, right? There's lots of variables, different factors. So, and there is a ton of catalysts coming, right? We have legalization of medical potentially. We have other states joining the rush for legalization of rec and medical. We have Florida potentially on the ballot. We have legalization of medical in the U.S. as a whole. We have HHS recommendation, DEA coming back. We have safe banking vote on the 27th. We have Germany coming online. There's so many, you know, MJ Act review here in Canada up for debate and consultation, and then potentially some news into the fall with that. Congratulations on the condo purchase, Rod, just in time for the new Fam Jam. Yep, I appreciate it. Well, that was sort of the idea behind it, too. I'm going to be living in one and renting a couple other out. I have an Airbnb condo as well, strictly for Airbnb, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Are you covering PSIL and Cybin? Thank you. Your channel is awesome. Thank you so much, Tech Monkey. I appreciate it. I don't generally cover the psychedelics. It's hard for me to really like understand the psychedelic space because like I understand it. It's great. It's medicine. It's going to be medicine in the future, just like MJ. But I just don't understand the value proposition for like investors because like you can grow that super easily for very, very cheap. So, you know, maybe it's going to be like, you know, through these clinical studies and trials and things like that, and then big partnerships with big pharma or something. But I just don't see it as being as big as MJ. It's just not got the amount of passionate following. Like I said, you know, CGC, Tilray trading same amount of shares as Tesla and Apple, right? So, holy crap, it's something to think about. But yeah, I don't really chart them too much. They are pretty correlated to MJ for the most part, and usually it runs after big moves in MJ, right? So that money starts to flow out, right? So if we're looking for like a weekly higher low or a monthly higher low, watch for psychedelics might just start to run. And I've seen some billionaire just bought a bunch of shares. What was that? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, billionaire Steve Cohen just purchased 19 million shares of Cybin, soaring the stock nearly 40%. How do you feel? So it's like, that's from the Dales report. So I know they're big on it, and I'm 80% MJ, the rest crypto and blockchain. That's kind of the focus on my channel, but we do talk about psychedelics from time to time, and I'm behind the medicine. I think it's going to be great, net positive for mankind in the future. Lots of opportunity for generational wealth there as well. I just don't see it as big as MJ. But yeah, monthly consolidation, dropping to a monthly lower low and a monthly inside bar at the moment, so it's still pretty weak. Weekly downtrend, PSIL. Yeah, we're seeing a bear cross of the MACD and the stochastic as well. Definitely one of the weaker names. Can't get over its 50 weekly moving average in terms of the daily time frame. We could see a golden cross with the 50-day crossing through the 200-day, and that would be the first time in history. And that could be a big move. So, like I said, it could be a pretty decent move coming. Cybin is probably going to be similar, but like I said, that news today, wow, just over the last few days, up almost 60%. Look at that volume. I think Cybin's going to be a good bit long term in this space. Contending with EMA 12 as well, and then a lack all the way up to 26 at 67 cents. So this thing could have legs to 67 cents. Close to confirming a monthly uptrend as well, with low, high, higher low, and higher high. So here's our high low, higher than this low, and this is the high. So if we break 53 cents, that's a monthly uptrend. If we break 53 cents, we could be heading to $1 in a hurry. So that could be a nice swing trade. If we break, you can even set a stop buy. If we break 53 cents or 55 cents, buy it. Or you can just buy it if we break 53 cents manually. And yeah, we could be heading to $1. So this is looking good. In terms of the weekly, we're seeing a bull cross in the stochastic and the MACD. So this is definitely stronger than PSIL. And getting above its 50 weekly, nothing until 65 and 79 there on the 100 and the 200-day or 200 weekly respectively. In terms of Cybin, CYBN on the daily time frame, we're also see a golden cross again. So this is looking good. Could see some pretty big moves in these names too into the end of the year. Hopefully that helps. More honeys needs more monies. Yeah, you bet. Are ETFs good for the long term? Yeah, if they're actively managed and whatnot, like a MSOS, it's a way for, and it's listed on a U.S. major exchange, it's a way for people to invest in MJ companies they don't have access to the over-the-counter or OTC names. Yeah, but generally they are good for long term, a little bit less risky, so a little bit less reward, right? More risk, more reward. I own a couple ETFs, one in Canada, one in the U.S. Rod, do you think there's a possible dip to come in Curaleaf to buy in? Yeah, I think there will be. I did cover that, so I probably already answered that question. So nice, you bet. Now we can take a quick peek at MJ ETF. Monthly bounce underway, but again, still needs that monthly higher low and higher high. That is decent volume increasing from the last couple of months, and we're coming up to all-time high records. The record for that is 103 million or 104 million, and we're at 63, almost 64. Like to do for a pretty big pullback though on the weekly time frame. Could easily see a pullback of 10-15%. Just be healthy, looking for a weekly higher low, because we still haven't confirmed a weekly uptrend yet either. And then we need the monthly. You're at risk of a daily downtrend. Double top there, 470, perfect double top. And now at risk of a downtrend here with 401 breaking. If that loses support, if we lose 401, then we confirm a daily downtrend and we watch for potential weekly consolidation over the next week or two. In terms of the weekly time frame and chart, close at 420. Nice. Seen that number all over the place. Yeah, looking good. Looking good there. No major red flags. All bullish on the MACD stochastic. We're getting above the 50 weekly, so we have the 100 there at 610. That could be a nice area to target. A lot of names starting to head to their 200 weekly, so that could mean we could be seeing $10 would be over double from here. The daily time frame, we're seeing a potential golden cross as well. 50-day moving average 332 and 200 at 368, so we could see that over the next few months. So again, adding more when ETFs are showing that, that's good, because that means like the whole sector is probably going to ignite. Loving the public live. You're doing great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Flex. Always appreciate the support and the love. Thoughts on Forefront Ventures? Okay, so we're over an hour and 10 minutes. I would love to continue going here. How many do we have? Yeah, I should be able to take a look at that. But I'm going to have to cut it off after the ones that we go through here. The ones that have already been posted. So on the CSE, Forefront Ventures, weekly inside bar, could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. And it's a weekly inside bar, so support at 27.5 cents, resistance at 40. Breakout, we start weekly consolidation. Breaks resistance, we continue the weekly bounce for the fourth week in a row. But still no weekly uptrend yet, so we would look for a higher low somewhere around maybe 25 cents. Come back, test those EMAs, just be healthy, form a higher low and higher high. And then we still need a monthly uptrend as well, which we're just starting the monthly bounce now, so we'll look for a higher low. Again, that's why I think we could see October, November be a little bit weaker for a lot of the MJ space, form some higher lows on the monthly, and then that gives us potential for some rocket into the end of the year. And upside with a higher high confirming and a monthly uptrend confirming. But MJ probably going to be one of the best performing sectors, in my opinion, over the next couple of years. FFNT, whoops, I think I have to put .ca, FFNT.ca. I'm not talking about the website. So yeah, we're seeing they're starting to curl a little bit bearish here, but stochastic and MACD still very bullish. We have the 10-week moving average there at 21 cents. So yeah, we could form a higher low somewhere around 25, 20 cents. Wouldn't be out of the question in my opinion. And then we have a lack of resistance till 62 cents at the 50 weekly and the 200 there at 83 cents. I don't really have that much knowledge on Forefront Ventures, to be honest. It's not really a name that I know of them, and like I'm following a little bit here and there, charting it here and there, but it's not a name that I own, or I think that I think there's a lot of better options out there, to be honest. But it's probably a couple months away from seeing a golden cross. But again, a lot of names seeing their golden crosses, so we could even get some news, and at which point that would obviously expedite all of this. But yeah, looking pretty decent. Yes, holding for the long run. Okay, cool. VFF. Yeah, we can take a quick peek at VFF. So looking to get above its 200 daily moving average, and could see a golden cross here in not too long here. Probably going to be maybe, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a couple months. Just like the rest of the MJ space, it is bumping its head at the 50 weekly there at 111. So that was a nice area of profit taking and target if you're looking at a shorter term trade like a day trade or swing trade. But if we can get a weekly candle close over 111, we're probably heading up to that 270 mark over the next couple of months, as well as we backtest the weekly 100 there with some runway. But yeah, we're looking good. Golden cross potentially forming. Whoops. And then in terms of weekly time frame, yeah, we were looking really good here as well. So we have the 50 weekly there, or the 10-day moving average rather, at 80 cents. And then we're seeing a bear cross of the stochastic, so that's a little concerning. But yeah, we could be heading to 80 cents. Like I said, I think a little bit more short-term pain ahead for MJ, and then we could see a pretty big move into the end of the year. I think end of October and November is when we'll probably see some lows, and then some news from DEA maybe into November, end of October, November. They either approve Schedule 3 recommendation and enact that, or they even treat it like alcohol and tobacco. That could be even happen as well. Imagine that. No one would be expecting that. And then safe banking vote on the 27th. It's going to get interesting. But if the safe banking vote doesn't go through, that could be something to bring us down more as well, and then start a potential, another drop down into October, which again, that short-term pain. So that's something we need to watch out for as well. And then as we're looking for a bottom after the safe rejection news, then we get HHS recommendation from the DA approved and confirmed, and that could be our bottom and the catalyst that we're looking for the whole time, right? I said safe banking would be great, but if I had to pick, I'd be picking HHS and rescheduling, either Schedule 3 and above. And then if we get safe, great, I'll take it. But HHS is what's going to knock us out of this multi-year bear market and start a new multi-year bull market. So that is what I'm banking on the most. No pun intended. All right. But Rod, may I ask, if MJ is rescheduled, then why would they have to legalize it? Is it not just the point you gave too? Sorry, I'm just a bit unclear on this. Well, legalization, it is a monopoly, right? They can monopolize the U.S. market, but legalization at the federal level would be what would be needed in order to end the stigma and hit critical mass, and see Fortune 500 companies and everything. It would come with all kinds of benefits as well, right? From a taxation perspective, it would also, be more job creations. It would be an accepted industry and medicine of the future, right? So I think. There's many benefits, and then, interstate commerce, and then also, different countries and stuff and whatnot, coming in, doing, trade back and forth. So I think it's going to be good. Like, imagine if, alcohol wasn't federally permissible, right? Imagine if it wasn't legal at the federal level, there'd be a lot more stigma and negative connotations around it, right? So they will eventually, in my opinion. Rescheduling is just step one, and then they're not going to do everything at once. They're going to do it gradually, right? So that they can create tops and lows and manipulate the market, right? That's the name of the game. Hopefully that's helpful. Tilray, how about that short report? Time to perfection right before possible safe coming back to live discussion. Yeah, for sure. And I don't listen to any of that crap, to be honest. I know Tilray is going to be a top 3, top 5 global player, not financial advice. That's just my own opinion, but I don't care what anybody says. I know enough about Tilray I don't need some third party or some report company coming out when they probably have a short position and they're trying to make money, right? I know enough about Tilray. I don't need someone. I probably know more than some of these people shorting it, so I don't need any of their information, to be honest. What exchange is Canopy Growth on? It's on the NASDAQ and the Toronto Stock Exchange. Thoughts on holding MJ ETF long term? Yeah, definitely a good ETF. I mean, I hold it in my portfolio. I did a video on my top 5 MJ holdings, and then I also did a video on my whole MJ portfolio breakdown with percentages. So I'll just bring it up here real quick. So yeah, I have MSOS and I have MJ. But 30% of my MJ portfolio is in Tilray. It's been a while since I redid that, so it might have changed slightly, but that's pretty much the gist of it there. Germany 2024. Yep, looking that way. Oh my God, my cat's name is Kirby. Haha, the Kirby squirts. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Rod, I bought some more Tilray tonight at $2.57. Great place on the chart with the 50-day about to nudge the 100-day. Yeah, it's looking good. Not a bad idea to load up here. And, we're just at $1.50 and 52-week low, right? All-time low. So you're only $1 ahead, right? What if this thing goes back to like 60s and 70s like we were in February 2021, or even $100 or $200 or $300 again someday? That's massive ROI and exponential gains. Thank you, Rod. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you as well. Tilray earning, what your opinion? I'll probably do some videos on that coming up, but should be good, I think. They're not going to have the Hexo advisory fees, but they'll have Hexo on their revenues, so it should offset each other. So I think it'll come around somewhat similar to what it was last quarter, maybe slightly higher. We'll also check the trends for the MJ sales and things like that. See if we're continuing to see more sales in Canada once we get the monthly reports. More sales likely equals more for Tilray, and Tilray's been clawing back market share. Smash that like button. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's to smash it. You can hit the dislike button too, but do something. At least it engages and I kind of get a feel for what people think of it. But yeah, if I had to choose, yeah, smash the like. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rod. You're amazing, and thank you for answering all of our questions. Much love. You bet. Much love right back to you. Thanks for joining. Thanks. Rod, I know how you feel about Doge, but would be able to show me a target like you did with BTC. I believe in its uptrend. Thanks. Yeah, I can do that, Flex. I mean, it's seen a massive run, right? Like it's hard for me to get behind it again because it just had such a massive run in 2021. Like, look at that, right? Like, saw like 250x, so $1,000 investment into like $250,000, and then sure enough, I said it was probably gonna crash and burn, and down over 92%. So, it could go. It very well could start to get back up to around 30 cents or 40 cents. I mean, you could. It's in a monthly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. We do have support there though at just under 5 cents. So this could have been a nice entry off 5 cents. You could set your stop below that or exit if we lose that. But I mean, this would be one of those names where I might put a few $1,000s into it just because of what Elon. Never bet on Elon. And then if we go back to price action resistance, that's 150%, and then 5x, 500%, and then 1,000%, so 10x. So maybe put in $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, whatever you're willing to risk, but risk it maybe going to zero because it doesn't really do anything, right? Unless you know, he integrates it into X or something like that. But I don't know. It's a little bit more technological than Bitcoin, but I think there's better options out there. And yeah, we already had that big move, so I'm just skeptical. But yeah, you could put $1,000, and if we go back to the highs there, that's 10x. So that's probably what I would do after that big move. I probably wouldn't risk more than a few $1,000. And welcome to X. Yep, super stoked to see you on the platform. Yeah, you bet. I've been using it a lot more. I love it. High tide nearing Golden Cross. Is that going to be bullish? Apologies if this was already asked. Yeah, I already mentioned it. Yeah, we're seeing it. I think it already happened, didn't it? 136 and 137. Yeah, so it's happening now. It's like basically happening. But it could be a couple weeks, couple months. Just because it's happening doesn't mean it will go right away. It could be a couple months. Sorry about that. My girlfriend was just calling me. I'll call her back. But yeah, it's definitely bullish. It just doesn't mean that just because it's happening now doesn't mean it's going to see like massive upside like today. It could be, you know, could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months. Like look what happened last time, right? It fizzled out, went sideways for a bit, sideways, sideways, sideways. Then finally, after the Golden Cross, it moved, right? And it usually has to do with news, and that's when the Dems took control of the Senate, and that was news related, right? The catalyst that we were having there, and now it's probably going to be HHS recommendation. Your thoughts on MSOS, YOLO, MJ, and other ETFs? Yeah, so I covered MSOS and MJ. You'll just have to go back into the video. I do have to start wrapping it up. High tide, yeah, I went over that. I was only going to do it for about an hour, and I'm over at an hour and 20 minutes, almost an hour and a half. So, but yeah, ETF. Those are decent ETFs, and you know, can't go wrong with those long term, in my opinion. A little bit less risk, a little bit less reward, right? Yeah, 30, 40 cents is where I'm aiming. Yeah, I think 30, 40 cents could be realistic, maybe even 50 cents, but thanks. It was a couple months last time as well. Yep. Cheers, man. Catch you later. You bet. Catch everybody later. Gonna wrap it up. So make sure to check out Pow Group on X. Handle for that is @GroupPow. And then make sure to check out powmerch.ca and use coupon code POWG420 for 10% off your first order. And then, like I said, you can check out some of our affiliate links. Also have my Airbnb host refer. So if anybody's looking to become a host, I think you can get like a couple $100 there just from using my link. And I do get a kickback as well. And then, like I said, Wealthsimple, you can, just for signing up, it's free. You can get like $40, between $40 and $1,200 as a promotion going on. But yeah, I know some people that got $40, $80, you know, like I said, all the way up to $1,200, and it's free. So for those of you in Canada, you can take advantage of that. I do have a couple more sponsors coming into the channel as well, so I'll have some sponsor content coming up. But going into it there, thanks everybody for your contributions to the live stream. Thanks for spending the time, your evening with us. You bet. Thanks for everybody as well. Thanks for these videos, bruh. Yeah, you bet. All good, my dudes. Yeah. So yeah, it goes both ways. I appreciate it. It's been fun hanging out. So I always love coming on, and I'm always looking forward to these. You just skipped my request. Oh, I didn't see it. Rashid. I don't see you on here, Rashid. Sometimes there's like glitches and stuff, and the comments don't come through, or like sometimes there's like shadow banning and like YouTube like blocks certain things, but I don't see your. That's the first time I see your name in the chat, Rashid. When you say you get my request, I don't see your name in the chat here. Rashid. Yeah, I'm at the mercy of YouTube too. Sometimes it like glitches, and sometimes it removes comments if they're not appropriate. And yeah, there's a lot of comments in here. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. If you can go up and find it, but looks like maybe YouTube removed it or something, or glitched. I don't know. So grateful. Thank you. You bet. Love laughing out loud, Rod. When do you think Canada will someday legalize MJ? When do you think Canada will legalize? They've already legalized. And it's awesome. I'm actually so grateful to be from here. I love the States too and everything else and the rest of the world, but like, man, this was it. Yeah, I don't see any other previous ones, so Sorry about that, Rashid, but yeah, gonna end it there. I do have to get going. My girlfriend's calling me, and I gotta get some dinner and get some food and energy into me. But hope you have a fantastic evening. That was a hilarious comment. All right, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you on the next video.